Hi, Kim here from Sun. If you're watching this video, you're here because you want to know how the heck you keep remote employees engaged and interested in the work they're doing. If you want to keep your remote employees engaged, there's 4 things you want to do. You want to keep them inspired, you want to keep them interested, you want to keep them involved, and you want to keep them informed. So, what have you been doing so far? If you're like most people, of course you're using Microsoft Teams or Zoom or WebEx and stuff like that, and you're doing meetings. That's a given. Everyone's doing that to some extent. Where most of you went, or most of the world went, when it became a problem to keep employees engaged and excited and involved, is you started doing a lot of software things. You started doing polls and you started doing digital coffee breaks, which was kind of a cool idea. I like that one actually, but it didn't work. Or definitely didn't work for you, or you wouldn't be here right now. So let's unpack each of these things, and I'm gonna give you 2 or 3 actionable tips for everyone. And if you stick around to the end, not the very end, but if you stick around to the end, I'm gonna give you a bonus tip that has really transformed our clients, because there's not a week that goes by where we don't hear from someone, hey Kim, how do you keep them engaged? And we're gonna solve that for you right now. Okay, number 1, how do you keep remote employees inspired? Tip number 1 is handwritten letters. So you can go snail mail if you want, and this is really cool, and I'm guessing most of you won't do it, but it really blows people away. But you're writing a handwritten card or note, and you're gonna snail mail it to them. Or B, you could write a handwritten card or something on a sticky, and in a Zoom meeting, share it with them. Hey, David, I wrote this for you today. And you read it, and you explain it to them, and it can be a video, or you can just do a quick 5-minute check-in with them during the day. They're not gonna expect it. It's gonna make a huge difference to keep them inspired. Okay, second tip is a virtual vision board or a physical vision board. You can make a vision board, you can get your employees to make a quick vision board. It can be digital, it can be physical, and then you're going to either snap a shot of it and send it through Slack or whatever it is, or you're gonna do a quick video like this. I'm gonna say, hey guys, I did a quick vision board of the biggest obstacles we've got in front of us today. A million ways you can take that, but now you've got the kernel of the idea. You're smart people, you can develop it. The third tip is a morning inspirational video, live or you pre-record it. And essentially, maybe you'll talk about the fact that it's a Wednesday or a Tuesday and the weather's great. You'll talk maybe about an inspiring quote you've got. You talk about how you're pumped that the team is achieving its goals. You might single out someone who's really rocking it during that week. Whatever it is, you'll come up with something. Again, you've got the kernel of the idea, develop it. It works. Okay, next section. How do you keep remote employees interested? Tip number 1, I hope you love this. Action-focused book clubs. So take a chapter of a book or an entire book, something that's got a skill or an attitude you want your people to have, send them the book in the mail. You can send them a Kindle copy if you want it digital. Sometimes, depending on the book, you might want to send a physical copy. And once a day or once a week, you're gonna have an action-oriented book club. We actually call this principle study action. You shouldn't study something without acting. You shouldn't act on something without studying. But maybe it's a marketing book, maybe it's a feel-good book, maybe it's a motivating book, whatever it is. Again, you're gonna pick just a chapter or maybe a paragraph or maybe a nice little quote from the book, and you're going to maybe develop a discussion question or 2. This could take an hour, by the way. It could take 15 minutes, it could take 5 minutes. Again, you got the kernel of the idea, develop it. Okay, the next tip we're gonna call a skill swap. So it could be learning a piece of software, it could be something fun like learning how to cook the perfect egg, or how to energize yourself during the day, or how to do a particular type of stretch during the day. Whatever it is, either you're gonna teach it or you're gonna get one of your team members to teach everybody else. Again, this could be 15 minutes, this could be 5 minutes, this could be 2 minutes, this could be planned ahead of time, this could be a fairly random thing. Hey guys, can we all get together an hour? You know, you say that on Slack or something like that. And Janice is gonna teach us how you can keep your spine properly aligned when you're sitting, or how you can do a nice little stretch every 5 minutes, which really makes a big difference. Try this idea, make it your own, develop it. It makes a huge difference in getting people interested in what they're doing all day long, which is working with you. Okay, you're really gonna like this one. It's called a virtual field trip. This is a big difference maker to get teams super interested and revived and just experiencing not the same old thing that you experience every other day. And what this is either you could take them on a quick little tour of a favorite walking trail that you've got. It would take a little bit longer, depending on where you're filming it from. It could be you introduce them to your dog. It could be it's a cat show and tell or a pet show and tell for 5 minutes. It could be anything. It could just be someone saying, it could be, just trust me, your team will have a ton of fun with this. You can have a tour of your fridge. It doesn't really matter. It's just something different, something that replaces what normally happens here and there in a lunchroom or something like that. It gives your team a time to be creative. It gives them an opportunity to be funny. It gives them an opportunity to get to know each other and say, man, I can't believe you live that. I love the view from your house or something like that. So, like I've been saying all along, you get the idea. You might be smarter than me. Maybe you can figure out a better way to tweak it, put your own fingerprints on this idea, but this will get people engaged and get them more interested in working towards the mission of your company. Okay, the next section is how to keep your employees more involved and therefore more engaged. I call this the idea box, and it's just what you think, an idea box, but with a nice little twist. So whether people want to Slack you ideas or whether they want to email you an idea, you're gonna write it on a little pink piece of paper, a little yellow piece of paper, whatever it is, and you're gonna put it in a physical box. And then you're gonna have a quick team session, again, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It could be at the beginning of one of your regular meetings, it could be at the end of one of your regular meetings, or it could be an impromptu, quick 10-minute meeting called idea generation or something like that. And you're gonna physically go into the box, pull it out and say, hey, this is an idea that Candace brought up. You're gonna read the idea, you're gonna talk about it, discuss it, that kind of thing. You get it. Again, very different take on a very common idea. Okay, this is kind of a similar idea. This would be digital or snail mail brainstorming. So you in a Slack post or an email or however you guys communicate internally, you're gonna say, hey, we're gonna brainstorming on a particular issue you've got, here's the problem we've got, here's the situation we've got, here's the opportunity we want to take advantage of, and I want everybody to send me a quick note on how we could tackle this or how we could come at this from a unique angle. You're gonna get those in, and then you maybe put them on a whiteboard, you might stick them on this little piece of paper, and you're gonna discuss them. But just the fact that it's not all digital, the fact that you're having it on a piece of paper or you're discussing it is gonna make a big difference. Plus, you're gonna solve problems and you're gonna take advantage of some opportunities, so that's a big bonus. Here is another game changer. It's called role rotation. So essentially what you do is you look at your team, you look at the various jobs they've got, and this is kind of a bit of cross training, plus you have a bit of fun with it. And you say, hey, Barry is gonna do Becky's job, or Sandra is gonna do Donald's job, whatever it is. And or part of the task for an hour or a day or whatever it is, and then you're going to get together and you're going to discuss what they learned, and you are going to get amazing results out of this. Not only are you breaking up their day and giving them just a totally different look at their job, which is going to be engaging and stimulating for them in its own right. Hey, what'd you do today? Something different, something interesting. I learned what Marion does all day. Fourth and final section, how to keep employees informed and therefore more engaged. So again, like a lot of these, we're taking an old school idea and we're giving a modern twist to it. Call this one simply the bulletin board. So you have a cork board that you can buy at IKEA or wherever you buy a bulletin board or whiteboard. I guess you could do it. I like the idea of an old school bulletin board with little sticky push pins, different colors, that type of thing. But essentially, it could be company announcements, it could be things that you're concerned about, it could be almost anything, but it's essentially your bulletin board session. And you'd have your bulletin board kind of right behind you here, and you'd have, again, your nice push pins. Those of you who are creative will have a lot of fun with this, and you point to them, or what you can do is take the pen out, take the piece of paper, and then read it. Maybe the content's all stuff that you generated, maybe it's content that other people have generated. You can have fun with it again, you can have pictures of your animals or your favorite place on the earth or your happy spot with you on the beach with the umbrella. Who knows what it is, right? But it's a cool super cool idea, super simple idea. None of this stuff takes a lot of time to implement, and it makes a big difference in the day-to-day aspects of your employees, and it changes the game. It gets them, in this case, more informed and interested, and guess what? More productive. Okay, here's an old one, but a good one. This is a random phone call, right? Rather than Slack them or chat them or instant message them or send them an email, how about just a random phone call? Hey Zane, how's it going? Just thinking about you. I had a look at what you did. Super excited about the work you're doing right now. Do you got any roadblocks I can help you with? Again, you'll come up with what to say, but just random phone calls. It's not a regular meeting. It's not a team huddle. It's something they weren't expecting. It's at different times of the day. It's going to surprise them in a good way, and you're going to get them more involved, more informed in what's going on, and therefore they're going to be more engaged. Last one here before the bonus tip is project show and tell. So your people are all working on different projects. So what you're going to do is kind of look at what your people are doing all day long and say, hey, John, can you present your project, what you're doing? It could be what you're stuck on, it could be what you're excited about, whatever. Just take 2-3 minutes, share your project with us, and then people can have questions, they can make suggestions, who knows. Again, you can play with this, you're a smart person. I'm just giving you the kernel of the idea, and then you can develop it. Okay, time for the bonus tip. The bonus tip is simply called Pomodoro Team Sessions. Almost everyone watching this knows what a Pomodoro session is, right? You take a timer, a tomato timer, or an egg timer, or a digital timer on your phone or your computer screen, and you say, I'm gonna work for 45 minutes or 15 minutes or 1 hour or whatever kind of floats your boat, and you're gonna do the task. That works really well, and if that works for you, keep going. Having said that, a lot of people, particularly the people that get distracted fairly often, they love a team Pomodoro session. So you can have 3 people, 5 people, as long as you have 2 people, that's all you need. And essentially all you do is you get on your Zoom call or your Microsoft Teams call, and you agree to be on that session for 45 minutes. Each person kind of says for about 10 seconds what they're working on. Then you keep the screen on, you shut off the audio, and you work on your task. So that sounds really simple, but give it a try if you haven't done it. Some people get absolutely addicted to this in a good way. It's just especially it's not just for these tasks, but especially the tasks that you don't want to do. Filling out that report, making some outbound calls that you didn't want to do, filling this form out or that kind of form, just anything like that. Having said that, tons of people just like working with other people, right? Time for the challenge. So listen to this video one more time if you need to. Pause on the ideas that make sense to you. They're all kind of conventional ideas with an unconventional twist. Pick the one that you think that works best, or pick 1 or 2 and give it a try today. I want to leave you with one super powerful quotation. The future of work requires a new playbook, and it's being written by those who dare to innovate. I hope you got some extreme value from this video today. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Please subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you in the next video.